Let me read something that you said about Black landowners, like the Reals family. You said, you know, that these Black landowners built on that land, accepting to be on the margin. The former enslaved could only buy land that had zero value, and they made it productive. Why do you describe the history of land dispossession from Black owners as an identity issue instead of a land issue?
Well, it was never a land issue. And even in the history of Europe, land was always the key. It was not only wealth, it was also a commodity. As soon as land become a commodity, that means it's something you can sell, you can buy, you can transform. And when the European invaded America, they came with that context, that concept as well. And the founding father as well continued that tradition. I remind you that most the founding father were all in some way real estate men, and all the additional laws always went into that confirming private property, whereas the indigenous people never said that that land was belonged to them. They always said, we are the guarantor of those lands. We are taking care of this land, but that land doesn't belong to us. And that European concept is ingrained, in the DNA of this country. And don't forget, after slavery, the same thing arrived. There were laws that enabled, like the Homestead 1860 law, that 62 Laws Act, that enables mostly white citizen to acquire land, or to, you could go to 160 acres of land, because they knew that's the fundament of any existence, of your identity, of the capacity to accumulate wealth. And of course, from there, black people, because they were not accepted as citizen, basically the law did not allow them to acquire those lands. So what was left for most black farmers was to buy cheap land, swamps, basically, which would become a few decades later very important, valuable land, because first of all, they worked on that land, they made it becoming something of value. They invest in it, they grow their family on that land, like the Reals family. They didn't need anybody. They could fish, they could hunt, they built their house on the property. They didn't need anybody's help. They didn't beg for money. They had their own place. And so when that happened in the South, like where, as you say, the numbers are incredible, like, most, I think the numbers are more than 14% of farmland were black farmland. And starting the century, 1900, 1920, violence started, because now uh, the white population wanted that land because
Hmm.
it was valuable. And that's the thing. People are always talking about the black exodus toward the north as if it was just an incident. It started because of land, because people wanted that piece of land.